Hello all, welcome back to Answer Writing Initiative at 9 p.m. I'm Guna Madhivanan from Offices IAS Academy. If you're watching this Answer Writing Initiative for the first time, then please watch my first video in the Answer Writing playlist given on the channel. It is open to all. You will know how to participate in this program through that video. So in the last video, I gave a question that is regarding jobless growth. Addressing India's jobless growth requires a paradigm shift in the macroeconomic policies discussed. So how to address this question? So first, explain that India is witnessing a jobless growth. You can come up with some fact. For example, India is the fastest growing economy in the world. Various international organizations like IMF, World Bank, they're estimating that India will be going at 7% growth rate per annum in the coming years, right? But however, with respect to employment opportunities, there is no such commensurate growth which we are able to see in the job sector. GDP is growing, economy is growing, but the job opportunities is not growing accordingly. For example, in the last 5 years, almost 100 million people in India, they entered into the labor force. That is 10 crore people, they entered into the labor force. But if you look at the opportunities in the formal sector, like manufacturing sector, not more than 2 million jobs were generated. That is, in the last 5 years, not more than 20 lakh jobs were generated in the manufacturing sector, which is formal sector. But however, 10 crore people have entered into the job market. And majority of them you will see that they got into self-employment or they got into informal workforce. See, in the informal sector, you cannot expect one to have a formal employment. There may not be a formal monthly salary. There may not be proper returns. If it is self-employment, again, it can be seasonal. Right. So, when we talk about employment opportunities, we should talk about the proper formal labor sector, not the informal sector. In India, in the informal sector, we are able to see a rise in the labor force. But in the formal sectors, there is no such opportunities. But GDP is growing. GDP is growing, but the formal job opportunity is not growing accordingly. We see a lot of gap between these two. That is called as jobless growth. So you can explain this in this introduction part. Then if you want, you can highlight the reasons, but the question is 10 marker. We cannot explain in detail. So you can give a link point. So you are giving the intro, then you can give the link point saying that, so to address this jobless growth situation, we need an exclusive policy to handle it. So we need to have an exclusive policy which will be focusing on the following areas. So you can highlight the following sectors. Like say for example, we need an exclusive job policy. We need to have a focus on skill development, for which we should have proper focus on education, higher education, for which we need to also have a healthy human resource. So we need to improve the infrastructure in the rural areas. We have to bring in a lot of investments, and we have to bring that investments also in the labor intensive sectors. So for all this, we need a special attention, a special focus, and special macroeconomic policy. So already we have, but that attention is not sufficient. We need to have an overall focus. Right, that is what is required to address this jobless growth. Else what will happen? Else you will not have an inclusive growth. Else you will not have sustainable growth. We will have a lot of disparity. We will have a lot of inequality. The rich will become richer and the poor will become poorer. What is the use of just growth? GDP growth is not development. GDP growth is just a number growth. Okay, development is what is required. See, in a country, let's assume there is a country, there are 1,000 individuals. Now let us say only one individual is making 1 crore rupees per annum. All others are begging. Then the country's income is 1 crore. In the next year, if that person is able to make 2 crores, then the growth is 100%. But remember, only one person is earning. Growth is 100%, 2 crores. But all others are still begging. Right? This is called as jobless growth situation. This is not good. Inequality will increase. Poverty will increase. Right? So this has to be completely addressed. So for which we have to create more job in the formal sector. This jobless growth has to be compulsorily addressed. We need a special focus. We need a paradigm shift in the macroeconomic policy. Right. So I have explained the situation. Also, I have given a framework for the answer. I have given a model answer as well. You can go through. I have selected two answers, one from Om Sneha. Yes, you have given the introduction right. You have explained about the causes of jobless growth. Great. Try to give some link point. Okay, from one para to another para, try to give some link point. So paradigm shift required in the macroeconomic policy, we have to formalize the informal sector, we have to go for upskilling, value addition, focus on MSMEs, regulations. So these measures will help our country to make use of the demographic advantage. Right, this is your conclusion. Good answer. Likewise, Kavya, your answer is also neat. So you have explained about jobless growth. You have also explained about reasons for jobless growth. Then you went for the changes required in the macroeconomic policy to address jobless growth. Again, link point will be better, right? So try to give some link point. It will add more value to your answer. Skill development, boosting manufacturing sector, formalizing economy, promoting entrepreneurship, promoting inclusive growth, labor intensive sector. You can highlight these words. You can highlight here. The rest is fine. Rest is neat. Simple question. We all have given neat answers. The question for tomorrow. Examine the persistent challenges in India's balance of payment position with a focus on the current account deficit. Discuss the contributing factors and their economic implications. I have made a video on BOP, which is already available in the current affairs series. If you are not aware of BOP, please go and watch that video and discuss the factors which is causing economic implications. Okay, the contributing factors and their economic implications with respect to current account deficit. Right, interesting question. Let me expect interesting answers. So I hope this initiative is adding more value to your preparation. I will see you tomorrow. Till then, bye, take care.